Welcome to the Thundercloud, ladies and gentlemen. After a bye day, we've got quite a bit to cover. So I guess let's get right to it. Sage, I gotta ask you, what do you think of the lackluster games that ESPN put on today? Two shitty games in one day. They gotta stop doing that. They gotta start putting good games on Monday again. Holy fuck, man. Absolutely fucking dreadful, if you ask me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but absolute dog shit. Sage says, I didn't watch that shit. You know what, Sage? I tried to, and I had to look away a few times and play a bit of Balatro tonight, so I think I might have spent more time failing at Balatro than watching the failures that were the NFL games today. Unbelievable. We'll get into all that NFL shit shortly, but I think we need to start off with not basketball. Let's start off with baseball and what we missed yesterday as well as what's coming up tomorrow. So this will be our last regular season box score to break down. And you know what? I kept saying, man, just give me one where we get double digit runs. Just give me one where it's double digit runs. And take the stress off my heart just a little bit. Well, on the last game of the year, the Jays certainly did that for me. They won 13-4 for 4 straight wins to close out the season, and they needed that in order to clinch not just the AL East title, but they won the entire conference. So really impressive. They had 94, they being the Blue Jays, 94 wins to end the season, 68 losses. Unbelievable performance. They started off the first inning 5-1 against the Rays because Captain Alejandro Kirk hit a goddamn grand slam. But my mother will vouch. I said, that's not going to be enough runs. And surely to God, it was not, because it was 5-4 a couple innings later. But then the Jays chipped away in the 4th and the 5th inning, adding 3 more runs. Then the 7th inning, they went berserk, and they ended up winning 13-4. So let's just take a little bit of a nosedive into the box score. So George Springer, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs and a walk. He ends the season with an astonishing 309 batting average and a 959 OPS clip. Cannot say enough about him, his leadership, and just his tendency to get hits in big moments. He's going to be huge for the Jays down the stretch if they're going to actually take a swing at this thing that we call a goddamn World Series title. So we'll see how that all pans. Davis Schneider yesterday, he was 0 for 1 with a run scored and a walk, so he didn't start the game. He came in for Andres Jimenez, who was 1 for 2. I don't like looking at the end of the line for Andres Jimenez, who has been playing shortstop down the stretch without Bo Bichette. Our defense with Jimenez and that other clown there, Ernie Clement, up the middle is astounding. Remember, Ernie Clement is a guy who had the best DRS of any player in baseball. So he needs to get the Utility Gold Glove Award. Jimenez profiles better at shortstop. His OPS on the year only 598. Not very great, if you ask me. Vlad, 1 for 5 with an RBI. He ends the season with a 292 clip for an 848 OPS. So, a great year. He went a little cold down the stretch. More so for the extra base hits. I would like to see him hit a few more home runs down the stretch. And if he did that, he would have been a bit closer to 900 OPS. Anthony Santander 0 for 2 yesterday. He did have a walk and a run scored. Cannot really base much on his OPS for the year at 565. He was injured. I think he played through injury as well. This guy's got a ton of pop. Remember, he hit 47 home runs last year. He'll have a better year next year, and hopefully he can be a guy down the stretch of the playoffs that adds a bit of pop that we're going to desperately need, honestly. Nathan Lucas, 1 for 2, ends the year 730 as a good little, whatchamacallit there, a platoon player. So he had a good year. Dalton Varsho, I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. 2 for 5, 832 OPS to end the year. That's crazy for a center fielder that plays defense as good as him. Alejandro Kirk, though, I mean, one of the best defensive catchers in the game. 3 for 5 yesterday, 6 RBIs with 2 home runs, one of which was a grand slam. Ends the year 282 and a 769 OPS. If Cal Naughton Raleigh wasn't having such a good year, you'd be talking about him as potentially the best in the American League at catching. Thank God we kept him and traded away Gabriel Moreno, because we kept the right catcher, honestly. It was nice to see Bam Bam Addison Barger go 2 for 4, 2 RBI, and a big swat over the fence there. Ends the year 755 OPS. He's susceptible to lefties. He certainly does mash righties, though, so he'll be big for us down the stretch. I mean, he's going to play a little right field, a little third base, potentially pinch hit now and then. Love his arm. Don't think he's the greatest defender. I don't think he's a liability either. Kiner Falefa 0 for 1. I mean, he's a guy we got from the Pirates towards the end of the year. The guy can play everywhere. He's a great little insurance policy. Can play third, short, second, outfield. Good guy to have in the playoffs. Don't necessarily want to see him starting, but, you know, I do like the value that he brings to the team. Ernie Clement, 1 for 3, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. 711 OPS on the year. I certainly love what he does do against lefties. Great defense. Don't really want to see him against righties, though. And, you know, you want to talk about a comeback story. Miles Straw, who we literally traded for in order to get cap space to potentially sign Sasaki, that Japanese or Korean pitcher that the Dodgers plucked from us. Well, he turned out to be pretty damn good. I think he's top 3 in the world at DRS, at least in the outfield. And he had a 680 OPS on the year, so that's barely below the Major League average. And you're talking about a platinum gold glove type of a player, a platinum glove player. So I think he's going to be big for us in the playoff situationally. Great speed, great bunting ability. He's going to have to do some of the dirty work for us, I do believe. Now, Kevin Gausman was not on his best behavior as a pitcher yesterday. 4 earned runs in 3 2/3 of an inning. 5 strikeouts, though, which I do like to see. Ends the year at a 3.59 ERA. Luckily, the Blue Jays bullpen, who a couple weeks ago were really struggling, they've kind of been putting it together lately. But Mason Fluharty came in, scoreless inning and a third with 2 strikeouts. Louis Varland, scoreless inning. Brendan Little didn't cause me to have a fucking panic attack right now. 3 strikeouts in an inning pitched. Braden Fisher, who's been good, great curveball, pretty good fastball, scoreless inning. And then Eric Lauer closed the door. I mean, granted, he was up by 9 runs, but he still got the job done. What a pickup Eric Lauer was. I cannot say enough about him. Sage, you got shafted by Eric Lauer being on the Jays and us picking up Shane Bieber. In my opinion, he was good enough to be a starter for the entire year. Would have been completely serviceable. What a year from a guy that we signed to a $500,000 contract. Great game. Love to see Chris. I'm talking a bit like Chris Bassett was yesterday. He was fucking hammered an hour after the game. But what a year. I mean, however the rest of the year goes, nobody would have predicted before the season that we would have been the American League East champions. Honestly. Crassett. Yeah, we'll call him Crassett from now on. Honestly, we'll call him Crassett. No one would have predicted this before the year, myself included. What a great year. What a short rebuild we had. I mean, last year, what did we win? 77, 78 games, if that. We didn't have a great year. We made, 7 or 8 trades at the deadline, and we were complete sellers. It's too bad Yimi Garcia isn't a part of this team in the playoffs, but because I really think he would have stabilized things for us, but injuries happen. It's just part of the game, but I really would love Yimi Garcia to be a part of this right now. We'll get into a bit more Blue Jays talk shortly. I do want to kind of preview what's on the docket for tomorrow. Mother says she misses Gimme Garcia. Oh, I like him. He throws a country hardball and he throws a slider too. And I appreciate how often he stays in the zone, honestly. So it's tomorrow, September 30th, also known as today. We've got, 4 games on the docket today. So starting at, we'll go by Eastern time since that's what time most people go by. Detroit on the road against Cleveland. Now, I do want to see who's pitching. So, actually, before I go into who's pitching, let's just go over who finished where. Sorry, I skipped a spot. I moved it over to the right. Shouldn't have done that with the tab. So, American League, Jays are first with a 94-68 record. The second place team is the Seattle Mariners, who scare the shit out of me with the rotation. They're 90-72. So both those teams do get buys. You got the Cleveland Guardians, also known as the Cleveland Indians, sneaking in with an 88-74 record, entering August or September. I think it was September. They had like a 2.9% chance of making the playoffs. Can you believe that? I can't. Now, that's a team I'd love to face because I feel like we could square off on them. The run differential is the only run differential in the American League that is in the negatives. So I don't necessarily look for them to make a strong push, but then again, in the playoffs, who knows? They look like a weak link. Remember, Cleveland was so down in the dumps that they traded Shane Bieber to us for fucking, Cal Stevens. So they were sellers at the deadline. In fourth place, you got the Yankees at 94-68. They won 8 straight to end the season. They could be getting hot at the right time, or maybe they're due for a fucking series sweep to the goddamn Boston Red Sox. Red Sox, to me, big surprise season. Before the year, I probably would have told you that I had Tampa Bay higher in the pecking order than Boston, but they do have a great farm team, so they're developing players extremely well. They did add to the rotation with that big Garrett Crochet trade. If you haven't heard of Garrett Crochet, you're a fucking idiot. No offense. And then Detroit Tigers, who were the top team for 5 months of the year or something, or close to it. They end 87-75. They are the 6th seed. Now, if we kind of go over to the National League, the Milwaukee Brewers didn't end the season on the best note, 4-6 in their last 10, but they won 97 ball games. They're a tough motherfucking team. That's all I got to say about them. You've got the Philadelphia Phillies in second place, 96-66. The LA Dodgers, who I think they're going to scare the shit out of everyone, 93-69. Just wait until Ohtani gets going in the playoffs. It's going to be fucking crazy. You got the Chicago Cubs, 92-70. The San Diego Padres, 90-72. And the Cincinnati Reds waltz in there. They fucking take home field advantage from the New York Mets and they beat them over the head with it. They're the 6th seed. And I love what they do in terms of a young offensive team. Like they've got good young position players. They've got some good young fucking pitching too. Let's not sell Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Andrew Abbott, any of these guys short. They got some fucking guys that can ball. So I'm intrigued with the playoffs. Love seeing Cincinnati fucking squeak in. I've been a Cincinnati fan, whether it be the NFL or the fucking, Major League Baseball for many years. So we'll see what happens. But they do have a tall task in order because tomorrow, let's just get the pitching matchups up so we do it some justice. So you got Detroit on the road against Cleveland. You got San Diego on the road against Chicago Cubs. Boston on the road against the New York Yankees, as well as the Cincinnati Reds on the road against the Dodgers. Now let's take a quick peek at the pitching matchups tomorrow, and I'll give you a bit of insight here. Hell, I'll give you some predictions. You got Tariq Skubal in the game I mentioned between the Tigers and the Guardians up against Gavin Williams. In terms of starting pitching, it obviously favors Tariq Skubal. Gavin Williams has been striking out a ton lately. He's been striking out double digits a lot lately. So Guardians could win this game. If I'm betting, I don't know who to bet on, honestly, because the Tigers have been doing so fucking poorly. I'm not really sure here. But Tariq Skubal, is there anyone better than him in baseball? Maybe Paul Skeens. Maybe not. This is a lefty that throws like fucking 99 miles an hour. So certainly interested in that. An interesting matchup. These are two pitchers, when I look at the Padres at the Cubs, that I don't respect a ton. Nick Pivetta, certainly hittable in his career, but he had a 2.87 ERA this year. Matthew Boyd, the former Blue Jay who couldn't get it together until he was, 30-some years old, had his first good year, maybe his second good year, with a 3.21 ERA. I don't know who this favors at all, so I'm not even going to take a stab at it. I don't even think the Cubs have a better team. Fuck it, I'm going Padres. I don't give a shit. I'm going to go for two road teams right there. Take a quick look at the comments, make sure I'm not falling too far behind here. Skubal or Mookie or both are the father of the fall spring kittens. All right, we don't need to get into feral kittens quite right now. Let's get back to baseball here. Red Sox. Okay, this is wow. This is a hell of a matchup that we got going on here. Garrett Crochet, 2.59 ERA on the season, up against Max Fried, who the Blue Jays almost signed, by the way, in the offseason. I think Garrett Crochet is more overpowering than Max Fried. He's a left-handed pitcher. New York has a lot of left-handed bats in New York. I'm sticking to the road team here. So I got 3 road teams projected to win tomorrow. All these could be completely wrong, and I'll look like a complete jackass, but I don't give a baker's fuck. I think Garrett Crochet is going to beat Max Fried in New York, put him up 1-0, and I actually have a feeling the Red Sox are going to win this series, but I could be wrong. Now, you got the Cincinnati Reds on the road against the Dodgers. Okay. Hunter Green, holy fuck, up against Blake Snell, holy fuck. I gotta go with the Dodgers. Although Hunter Green's a motherfucker, this guy hits 102, 103, I think he's even hit 104. This guy throws fucking gas, honestly. He's got a gas pedal, these guys, but the Dodgers have a hell of a lineup. Their bullpen has been extremely susceptible. That's where I expect Ohtani to come out of in the playoffs. I still got to go Dodgers, though. I just can't go Reds in this one. And I'm happy either way. I like both teams, so I'm okay with that series there. Then I'll just break down the rest of the schedule. So that's your tomorrow games. Then after that, October 1st, you're basically going to get the same mix. You're going to get Detroit at Cleveland, San Diego at Chicago, Boston at New York, Cincinnati at LA. Now, if any of these games should go to a game 3, that's when it tilts a little bit. And it does become kind of home field advantage the other way, I think. Isn't that how it works in the playoffs? I could be wrong. Aren't the first 2 games played at home and then the last game is played on the road? I'm 100% sure I'm right, but if someone could look that up just to confirm, that would be greatly appreciated, honestly. It doesn't make sense that they take a plane, then take a plane, then take a plane. I think I'm correct here. Let me just, I'll do a quick Google search unless Sage already has. Just a second here. Google.ca. One second here. Yankees, Red Sox series. Should say here pretty... I know, Sage, my internet going out. You know, it threw me off a little bit here. Like, where are they playing? I can't. Where are the games being played for first game of baseball playoffs? These guys aren't helping me out very much. Man, if anyone's got Chat GPT or anything like that, I think I'm right, but man, AI overview is not giving me shit. Not giving me shit here. I think I'm right, man. I don't know. Look it up if you can. That would be a great help, Sage. You know, do me a fucking solid. We'll move on. We're not going to go over the rest of the pitching matchups because, of course, we can do that tomorrow. But why doesn't it show... Okay, let me go October 2nd. Let me just click. Can I click a game preview? Okay. Alright, I was correct. I was not correct. Okay. I think they're going back and forth. I think it goes 1, 1, and 1. I think I'm wrong. Now I'm thinking I'm right. What the fuck is going on right now, man? Oh, God. Let me see the first game. Maybe I am right. I think I'm right. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's kind of a home field advantage for both teams in a way. So the first two go to the team that was better in the regular season. And then if you're good enough, you get home field advantage. I think that's the best way to do it. You know, a lot of people like to shit talk Manfred or whatever, but I do think that's the right way to do it, honestly. Gives them a bit of an advantage on both fronts. I think that's kind of cool. We don't have any NBA to go over, and if there was, I really don't care. Let's break down a little bit of football. Now, while I'm doing that, who do you guys think are winning the first round? Leave a comment. Let me know for each matchup who's winning which matchup. So like I said, you've got Cleveland and, what was it, Detroit doing battle? I wish I could post that all. Maybe let me just bring it back up so we don't fuck it up again. All right, so who's winning Detroit versus Cleveland in your guys' opinion? And I'll give you my opinion. My opinion, I think everything is based upon what Tariq Skubal does. If Tariq Skubal... There's no ties. There's no ties. Please leave good comments, not bad comments. I think if Tariq Skubal wins tomorrow, the Detroit Tigers will find themselves in the next round. That's what I think. Also, San Diego against Chicago. That's a coin flip. I kind of like San Diego. San Diego's been playing LA tough this year. Kind of like San Diego. Boston and New York. I think Garrett Crochet's going to win the first one for them. I think Boston's going to be the team that beats New York, honestly. And then Cincy against LA, I think the Dodgers win that. That's my picks. That's my picks right there. I'm not saying I like Boston, Sage. I'm just saying, you know. I'm just saying. That's what I think. Now, part of me picking Boston against New York is that I like Boston. Or wait, I dislike them less than I dislike New York. So that could be a bit of bias coming out there. All right, let's get to the NFL. And let's just break down the scores. We're not going to go into too much detail, but tonight was a disaster. Tonight was an absolute disaster. Honestly, the Broncos won 28-3 against the Bengals. I don't even think I can blame Jake Browning for this. They were just getting flag after flag. It was absolutely fucking brutal. Bo Nix played well. He had 2 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins ran like a stud, 101 yards on 16 carries. Cortland Sutton was good, 81 yards and a touchdown. But damn, the Bengals really got to get their shit together. They're 2-2, but I could certainly see 2-6 or 2-7 very soon for that team. The Jets, Lost 27-21 to the lowly Miami Dolphins. What are they gearing up for the fucking first overall pick for quarterbacks? I'm not sure. But they can't stuff the run. Neither can the Dolphins. The only thing that this game does for Mike McDaniels is save him another week from getting fired. He will get fired, but just not tonight. They're not going to fire him after a fucking win. Justin Fields had an incredible run for a touchdown. Beautiful. He was 20 for 27 at a touchdown. I don't know what Tua did. Don't care. Arcane finally came back at 100 yards on 20 carries. Garrett Wilson had a pretty big game, but at the end of the day, the Dolphins got the job done. Probably my most happy moment of the game was seeing Tyreek Hill injured. Probably not returning this year. He's a son of a bitch. I don't like him. He's a criminal. So I'm happy. I hope we never see him play football ever again. We'll move on to the next topic, though. If we go back to Thursday, I think we already covered this game. The Seahawks won 23-20 against the Cardinals. The Cardinals were heartbroken for another game. They're a good team, but the Seahawks did get the best of them. Now we'll rewind to yesterday in, London? In London, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers did take care of business. They won 24-21 against the Vikings. Carson Wentz threw 2 picks. At least one of those picks were not under duress. So he didn't do very great. Aaron Rodgers played a good game. Offensive line, from what I could see, played better. Certainly pretty good against the run. I mean, Kenneth Gainwell had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on 19 carries. DK Metcalf had an explosive play. And this game was actually not as close as the score indicated. This was 24-6, late, 24-13 or 14 with 7.5 minutes left. So I feel like the Vikings scored some garbage points. The Vikings have a great defense. So the Steelers 3-1, they need to look to string, in my opinion, 2 wins out of their next 3 games. Because right now Baltimore's playing like shit. They just found out that Nnamdi Mbuke is out for the rest of the year. So I don't see Baltimore's defense getting any better. I don't see Jerry Alexander playing anytime soon. I'm not sure what's going on with Kyle Van Noy. It feels like it's a good time for the Steelers to go for the jugular and kind of put a stranglehold on this division known as the AFC North. Now, this is a game I did feel confident about. Now, if Jaden Daniels was playing, I probably wouldn't feel so confident about it. The Falcons rebounded after a 30-0 loss to the Panthers. They won 34-27 to Marcus Mariota and the goddamn Washington Redskins, not the Commanders. Michael Penix, 313 yards, efficient, 20 for 26, 2 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson, 17 carries, 75 yards, and a tote. Drake London killed me in fantasy. He absolutely killed me. 8 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown. When the fuck has he ever done that? Only against me, I guess. And I should have stuck to my gut when I was doing cover the spread shit on fucking, Friday or whatever the fuck it was. I knew the Saints would cover, and then last second, I changed it. Said the Bills would. The Bills won 31-19. Josh Allen threw a pick, had 2 touchdowns, 209 yards. Not his best game, but he didn't really need his best game. James Cook was a stud, 120 yards on 22 carries with a touchdown. Never any doubt. The Detroit Lions really playing fucking good, man. They actually do scare the shit out of me a bit. They put 34 points up against the Browns. That is at home, so maybe it would be different if they were on the road. Now, 14 of those points did come in the last quarter, so it was a bit closer than the score indicates. They certainly covered that 10-point spread, though. Joe Flacco sucks, 2 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs was fucking really good, 91 yards on 15 carries. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 70 fucking yards, 2 touchdowns on 7 receptions. So, kind of Detroit doing what they normally do. Now, remember when I said it? I didn't play any over-unders this week except one. Remember when I said there was an over-under that I guaranteed? I believe the over-under was a 43 or a 43.5. And I guaranteed that over-under. Well, The New England Patriots pretty much covered that over-under themselves when they scored 42 points to Carolina's 13. Drake May looking really fucking good. 14 for 17, 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty fucking good. That is pretty fucking good. I'll check the comments real quick before I get moving forward here. If you haven't hit the like button, you better hit it before I hit you. Sage says that's my first overall pick. We're going to run 2 first overall QBs and see who's better. There's a big sounding critter outside. Well, I hope it's not a fucking bear. That doesn't sound good. You might want to stock up on some ammo at Walmart and shoot that fucking thing. Anyways, the only other notes. Looks like Stephon Diggs had a great game. 101 yards, 6 receptions. Don't forget, he's coming off a year where he required ACL surgery. So the fact that he's putting these numbers up means maybe he is going to be a good addition for them, honestly. Now, remember I said I wouldn't... Everyone was saying that the New York Giants beating the San Diego Chargers at home is like the upset of the year. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. With Russell Wilson out of the picture, I think... I had a feeling this could happen. I didn't say it would happen, but I did have a feeling they could cover the spread and keep this game close. And they won 21-18. Now, in that loss, the only problem is Malik Neighbors tore his ACL. He's out for the rest of the year. Justin Herbert, 203 yards, didn't do great. O'Marion Hampton had a great game. 12 carries, 128 yards, and a touchdown for San Diego. Quentin Johnston continues to play great ball. 8 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown. But Jackson Dart looks good. He looks fast. He looks a lot better than Russell Wilson. The Giants have a great D-line. I said that coming in. Great D-line. Potentially the best D-line in football. I don't see this as the upset of the year. I say the Browns beating the Packers is a way bigger upset than the Giants beating the Chargers while they were at home. But again, that's just me. Sage says, it pains me seeing Mike Vrabel doing well and seeing the clown we have. Don't worry. Brian Callahan is known for deflating tires. I can prove it. He will be fired for fucking... This is Deflategate 2.0. He's deflating people's tires at Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts, Sage. Can you deal with that? I can't. I know I can't. Unfucking believable, man. Unfucking believable. He's been doing it. He's been trying to sabotage your guys' great image. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is slander. You got a wrench for these types of situations. Well, Sage, we better hope that Brian Callahan doesn't get wrenched in real life. Let's just hope for that, okay? All right. Let's get to the next game. The Eagles started off very fast against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road. They improved to 4-0. The Bucs are 3-1. All the stats I see here seem to be the goddamn fucking Tampa Bay. They get almost 300 yards for Baker Mayfield, so he went down slinging, as he always does. Bucky Irving had a big game, 63 yards on the ground, 102 in the air for a running back, but it wasn't enough. The Eagles are 4-0. They're not unbeatable, though. They'll get a loss at some point in the near future, in my opinion. And you've got the Titans, who I confidently felt they would cover Houston because Houston's a garbage team. I believe the spread was 6 or 7, 6.5 or 7, maybe 8, probably 7 though. But Houston lost 26-0. They got shut out. This Brian Callahan deflated the offense just like he does tires. CJ Stroud, 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's not remarkable. I don't know. This Marks guy, 69 yards. Nico Collins, big game, 80 yards. But at the end of the day, I think this comes down to the Titans' inability to play well and less to do with the Texans being any good. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sage, but that's my prognosis on that. Sage says Brian and Bill. Oh, but there's two wrenches. Two people getting the wrenches. Uh-oh. It looks like the feral cat's about ready to have a goddamn baby. Well, not till after the fucking stream. Now, this one I predicted pretty well, and I did see this one coming. The Rams at home against the Colts, they covered that 3.5 point spread. They won 27-20. Both teams are now 3-1. Matt Stafford, what a fucking game. Almost 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Puka Nacua, 170 yards on 13 receptions. Him and Devontae Adams, definitely the best 1-2 combo in football. And let's not forget about Kyrene Williams, who had fucking 77 yards on 13 carries. And let's not forget about Tutu Atwell, who had fucking 88 yards on one fucking catch alone. Unbelievable. These guys scare the shit out of me. I'm more scared of the Rams than I am the Eagles. These guys are fierce. They can fucking pass rush, and they fucking scare the hell out of me. All right. I had a feeling, and I think I said Jacksonville would cover. Wasn't sure if they would win. They did beat the Niners 26-21, and I think it was against Brock Purdy. Yeah, it was against Brock Purdy. He had 309 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not super efficient at 22 of 38. But his injury to his toe, I think, got a bit more banged up. So I don't know if he's going to miss time or not. Big win for the Jaguars, 3-1, and I think they play Kansas City next week on Monday Night Football. Could be wrong. Christian McCaffrey looking like a stud in fantasy. I mean, just looking at his reception line, 92 yards, 6 receptions, and a touchdown. I thought he was done. I'll say it. I thought he was done. He looks pretty damn good. Also looking pretty damn good, ETN. 19 carries, 124 yards, and a tote. But damn, Christian McCaffrey's getting a big workload. It's kind of crazy if you ask me. Let me just take a quick look. Titans can't stop shit. It's actually Titans can't shit. Titans can't stop. And then you got always in 6th place consistently. I have to get this team better. Well, I'm in last place. We'll get to the fantasy sports here shortly. Yeah, I'm in last place, so yeah, just remember, it could be fucking worse, you know what I mean? It could actually be way worse. You could be actually reading Don't Kill Myself books called Don't Jump. So, your life isn't quite there yet. Sage wants to push the red button. That means delete the league. So everyone discourage him from deleting the league. Sage, we're here for a good time, not a long time, okay? So stop pushing the button. Patrick Mahomes had his first good game of the year. He threw for 4 touchdowns against the lowly Baltimore Ravens, who I already said were without Nnamdi Mbuke, Kyle Van Noy, Jerry Alexander, probably a slew of other guys. So I'm not making much on Patrick Mahomes. He did put up 37 points. The Chiefs did at home to win 37-20. So the Ravens are now 1-3. They're 2-2. He wasn't overly efficient. He was 25 for 37. 270 yards. I'm not buying into it yet. Yeah, it's good they got Xavier Worthy back, who had 5 receptions for 83 yards. I need to see it against a defense that isn't Baltimore, who's like last in the league. So that's all I'm going to say about the Chiefs. Yeah, I get they're not terrible, but I'm still not a big believer in Patrick Mahomes. Sage, do not do it. Do not do it. Do not. No, Sage, don't. If you do it, oh, dear God in heaven. I think the button's been pushed. We've got a code red button pusher coming in here. I need to call the police now. I need to call the police, Sage. You're not deleting our fantasy league. Remember I said I had a feeling that the Bears, who were not favored to win, would beat the Raiders? Well, they did come back late to beat the Oakland Raiders 25-24. And this is what I don't like about the Oakland Raiders being relocated to Las Vegas. They never have a home field advantage. They never have a home field advantage. Because people are just going to go to Vegas and they're going to be, oh, as part of our trip, we'll just watch our favorite team play. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. For football, I think it's bullshit. Probably be the same fucking shit in baseball when they move the fucking Oakland Athletics there or whatever and actually officialize that shit. I don't like it. I think you should have home field advantage when you play at home. I don't think it should be that there's 60-70% of the people that come to your game as a home team cheering for the other fucking team as a fucking home team. I think it's fucking bullshit. I think it's fucking just straight fucking trash if you ask me. If you agree, just let me know. McConkey didn't do very well. Well, if you need to get McConkey off your hands, I will certainly trade. I am in the hunt for running backs. So if you guys need to trade a running back, I've got lots of ammo for you. Now, Caleb Williams wasn't efficient. 22 for 37, 212 yards and a touchdown. Ashton Gianti for the Raiders had a breakout game. 21 carries, 138 yards, and 1 touchdown. I guess they turned the ball over a bunch, according to a source I know that's a big Raiders fan. Geno Smith, he was calling him Genocide Smith, was not very happy. Romo Odunze, 4 receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, that's meh. That's not that big a deal. Ashton Gianti, though, big breakout game. And guess what, bud? All for naught. You guys fall to 1-3. You guys will be damn near the basement all fucking year long. That's what I have to say about that. Now, the actual only game that I watched with any sort of attention span or any sort of interest, because I had to do that stupid stream, etc., was the Green Bay Packers on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. And there's a lot to dig into here. Honestly, there is a lot to dig into. Green Bay came out like a bat out of hell. They certainly came out like a bat out of hell. They scored 2 touchdowns to start the game. Now, after they had scored 2 touchdowns, you think they'd be up 14-0, but that wasn't the case. It was a 13-2 lead because there was a blocked extra point that came back for 2 points. That's only the 15th time in the 10-year history that has happened. Doesn't happen very often. On a special teams play after a touchdown, they bring it back the other way. So extremely rare. Now, at first I wanted to blame our special teams coach, Rich Pisaccia, for fucking up because he hasn't been necessarily that great as a coach for our special teams the last couple of years. After watching the highlights again tonight, I noticed that, I believe it was number 72, Brant Banks was in, and he was playing towards the right side where they had allowed the pressure that did lead to the blocked extra point attempt, which ended Brandon McManus's 93. Say that again with me. 93. He had 93 consecutive extra point conversions, which was the most in the NFL for an active streak. So that happened. To me, that's a momentum changer. But it was against Brant Banks, a guy we had elevated from the practice squad. Remember I said, and I said it the last 2 weeks, that our offensive line being decimated would cost us? Well, if we don't have fucking Aaron Banks injured, if we don't have fucking Anthony Belton and Zach Tom injured, Brant Banks isn't playing there. Okay? So I actually looked at that as a personnel issue, which isn't anyone's fault. We're having a lot of injuries to our offensive line right now. So I'm not actually going to blame Rich Pisaccia on that one. The only bad special teams gaffe that we had was like a 45-yard return towards the end of the game by Turpin. Turpin is one of the best returners in football. So let's get to the stats a little bit here. So we're up 13-2. Now here's where it gets a little bit fucking annoying for me. I believe we're up, 13-9. There's 21 22 seconds left in the first half. Dallas has all 3 timeouts. We've got no timeouts. That's fine. We're up 13-9. We don't necessarily need to score here. Jordan Love, a little lackadaisical with the ball. So he takes his little step back here, takes 4.25 seconds, takes a long delivery, trying to make a big play down the field. Eat the sack, man. Don't have a fucking fumble get forced on you, and then that leads to a fucking touchdown from the 16-yard line. You can't let that happen. That changed the game. Jordan Love played a great game when he wasn't under pressure. I believe he was 25 for 27 or something outrageous like that. Now, he had a good rating on the day, 118.1 rating, threw 3 touchdowns, all of which went to Romeo Doubs. But you can't turn the ball over there, man. You've got to have a better awareness of the situation, of the score, of what the momentum would be, because you basically let Dallas double up. Essentially, you gave them that opportunity. Now, we did make a stop in the second half, that's fine. But you let the score be 16-13 entering the half rather than fucking 13-9 for us. That's a huge swing. It's also a huge swing on the special teams, but I'm not going to get so fucking crazy about it. Yeah, it's a 3-point swing for the fucking special teams gaff, and then a fucking 7-point swing for the goddamn Dallas Cowboys, forcing that fumble late. And I'm not giving them credit for that, because he had plenty of time, and he was just reaching his arm back. Maybe it was Jadeveon Clowney that got to him, but when you've got over 4 seconds, great quarterbacks get the ball out in 2.1 to 2.3 seconds. 4 seconds, way too much. Way too much, in my opinion. So, I'm going to have a sip because I'm starting to get a little fucking pissed off here. Anyways, the second half was great. I mean, if you like a back and forth game, this is what you were looking for. Dak Prescott played great. I mean, he had a 125 rating on the game, 3 touchdowns, passing, 1 running. Neither quarterback threw a pick. This was a nice little slugfest. And for the Packers, Josh Jacobs, I'm going to say, wasn't overly effective in terms of yards per carry. He had 3.9 per carry. Now, one of those was basically a passing play, but it was a slight lateral, which got him 29 of those yards. He had 2 touchdowns. Great for fantasy owners. I get that. But I'll tell you who looked really good as a Packers running back was Emmanuel Wilson. Our backup, 5.5 yards per carry, 44 yards on 8 carries. That's pretty damn good. And did I say that Romeo Doubs caught 3 touchdowns? Well, he caught 3 fucking touchdowns. He's got vice grip hands. Honestly, that might be a future Tennessee Titans age. Because he's going to be a free agent in the offseason. I don't think the Packers are going to be able to pay him. So that's a guy you should be honestly looking at, if you ask me. If you want some receivers, there's a receiver for you in the offseason. We already extended Christian Watson, so that's not going to happen. Just got to look through the box score a little bit and just see receiving. I was very happy with my rookie on my fantasy team, Matthew Golden. 5 receptions for 58 yards. I'll just take a quick look at the comments. It's been a while. That's the sad part about fantasy football or sports, is that some of the guys on the bench should have been playing. I mean, I had Cam Curl, who had 2 interceptions on my bench. You say Dan beat me. I thought Dan was up against Corpsto. Maybe I've got the matchups all fucked up. I thought Corpsto was up against Deflate These Balls. Well, we'll get into that shortly. That's the fantasy portion of the show. We'll get into that. And we're going to have a nice little parade tonight as well. Tucker Kraft, what a fucking monster, man. 5 receptions, 56 yards. Emmanuel Wilson. You know, that 4th down play to Matthew Golden where he bobbled and recaught the ball, 4th and 6 in overtime. Just honestly splendid. So This game ends in a tie. And I start listening to the radio afterwards because I didn't have internet, so I put the radio on. So, it ends in a 40-40 tie. And they're bitching. They're bitching about how games shouldn't end in ties. And I'm like, okay, they changed the rules. Do you know what I used to hate? And it costs the Packers probably Super Bowls, etc., etc. I used to hate when it was heads or tails, right? And you win the fucking coin toss. And winning the coin toss meant you needed to throw 20 to 30 yards down the field. You'd kick a field goal and win. That's the overtime that I hate. You just have to go 20 or 30 yards down the field, kick a field goal. And even when they had it as, okay, you score a touchdown and then you win, and you don't get to come back, that's when they readjusted it. So, you could get a field goal, then they could come back, throw a touchdown. Even that to me is archaic, honestly. Like, I like the overtime rules. I like the fact that the Packers chose right. The Packers chose to kick, and then you see what you need to get. I think that's the right move. I was excited with the tie. I don't know what these people are talking about. This was a tie that was the second highest scoring tie in NFL history. So it was monumental to watch this game, honestly. To me, it's just bullshit. What's wrong with the tie? They both played pretty much to a tie. The Packers should have won this game, much like they should have won the Browns game. But at the same time, this game deserved to be a tie, in my opinion. Why did someone deserve to win this? I don't believe anyone deserved to win this game, especially not the Cowboys, but I like it. Sage, what do you think? Do you think there's a big deal? Okay, what's wrong with there being a tie? The overtime rules are better than they've ever been. Even if you score a touchdown, you have the opportunity to match or surpass. What's the problem? Maybe it's me, I'm a little fucked up, but how the fuck is a tie funny, Unbelievable. I agree you could let them go till there's a winner, but to me there's nothing wrong with the tie. You know what I used to like? And I'm gonna now shit on hockey a little bit. I used to like a tie in hockey. A tie in hockey was hard earned. Now they got this shootout shit, and I hate it. I hate that you get an extra point for winning in a shootout. Like, okay, let's just do a skills competition. We might as well put fucking pylons across the fucking, exterior of the fucking arena and do wind drift sprints. You know what I mean? I mean, you can hate ties, but it's like, to me, the rules are so much better than they were, man. They were so much better. You had literally, back in the day, overtime used to be you kick a field goal, the game is over. That to me is the worst format that has ever been in any sport. You tell me you're gonna flip a coin. Whoever wins that coin toss most likely wins the game, and it ends on a field goal. That's horseshit, man. The rules are better. I'm okay with a tie. And I'm fine with it. I think the format is better than it used to be, and that's all I'm looking for is progression. I don't think you necessarily need a winner. They could do that, but what if they're going in 8 quarters? I guess you could go until, okay, everyone has a possession, and then what happens after that possession, but then it kind of favors whoever gets the possession first, right? You know what I mean? To me, I don't think there's any fair way to do it in football. Because to me, then the overtime's just going to become, okay, we'll take the ball first. We'll score on the first play. They'll score, and then we'll just rescore. Unless you just keep going match until someone has a uneven play. You know what I mean? If they die, they die. Oh, God, Sage. It's a good thing that you're not representing the fucking NFLPA. Oh my God, Sage. That's just sick. That's a sickening thing to say right now. Anyways, I was happy the Packers tied. Should have won that game. Should have won the Browns. But now we get a bye. We get our offensive linemen healthy. I said this would be an extremely tough game. Yeah, go no helmets after the first two series. This is getting barbaric. But no, the Packers also need to look out for Devontae Wyatt, who exited yesterday's game, defensive tackle. He's been having a hell of a year. We really are going to need him down the stretch. So I'm hoping this bye gets everything right. Usually I don't like an early season bye. I don't think it's great. But this actually is perfect timing for the Packers, who have 3 offensive linemen down, Devontae Wyatt. We need to get it right. Then I think we play the Cincinnati Bengals next. So I kind of like where we're at. But still. We're not bringing up brass knuckles, barbed wire, piano legs, and grenade stage. Jesus Christ. You're getting me all fired up for the goddamn Pete Rose Bowl cut. Well, it saddens me. You know what? I'm actually a little sad. While I do this announcement, I'm kind of sad. Because it's been fun. To me, this has been the best, and it's not because I won. This has been the best fantasy league I think we've had ever. Because we're breaking it down every week. We're spending more time with it, etc., etc. Let's go over this is the last time we're going to do the scores for the Pete Rose Bowl cut. We had great activity. Honestly, we had extremely good competition, as Sage is agreeing with me on. What a fun year. Well, let's just go over the scores. So, Orange Juicy Fruit did cement himself as the Toilet Bowl winner. He won 13-2 against Graham for what I swear was the 20th time in a row. That's your winner in the consolation ladder. Then you got Vlad the Impalers and the Dark Sliders slugging it out 9-6 in favor of the rookie, Vlad the Impalers. You've got Annette's awesome team beating the shit out of Alejandra's astounding team 13-2. And then you had a tilt. And then you had a tilt like no other. The only problem was in one corner was Muhammad Ali, also known as me, stinging like a butterfly and kissing like a bee, up against Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts, who sponsored Mike Tyson. So he might have came out and hit me with a few rights, but I dropped my hands and I told him to keep hitting me with those rights, and I kept walking through those blows because there were some 8-6s, there were some 10-5s that could have swayed a few ways. There was a 9-5-2 where Michael Walker came through during a stream that we didn't even think to cover. And Rodfather ended up winning 12-4 in a score that was way closer than it looked. This was a tilt right here. This was a heavyweight tilt. But at the end, Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts went down like Vanderlei Silva did after the fight the other night. And I don't think it was right. But Wanderlei Silva went down the same way that Tommy Callahan's fucking stocks are going down. Went right down to Chinatown. And with that said, we were anointed 3 champions. A bronze medalist finishing in 3rd place. Annette's awesome team. In second, I almost said second base. Fuck! In second place, we got Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts. And in first place, and still undisputed champion of the world, the Rodfather. First place, the first championship win in any baseball league. And you know what? He went streaking through the town of Mahone Bay, and he got arrested later that night. And he joined a jail cell with Chris Bassett. And that's what happened. And I'm still in that jail cell. I found a hot spot, and that's how we're doing the stream tonight, because I couldn't figure it out last night. And that was our baseball season, the first inaugural Pete Rose Bowl cut, an astounding success. But then we need to take a look at the juicery, because, you're looking at someone who has triumphed and now has fallen. My persona, also known as Fourth Quarter Steven, has fallen to a 1-3 debacle to start the year. I'm in last place. I lost 351 to 292 to someone who doesn't even know the fucking sport. And joining me in the basement is fucking Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts. He lost 278 to 233 to some motherfucker named Butt Fumble Safety. And then we did have a heavyweight match between Deflate These Balls and Touchdowns in Your Face, who was in first place, 390 to 318. You're talking a lot of points there. That's like 700 or something crazy, 710. It's a lot of fucking points. And then you got Hard Count and Net going at 2-2, 309.5 to 228.5. It's looking bad. It's looking like there's a lot of fucking players in the basement right now. You've got myself. Actually, Sage isn't even in the basement. He's 2-2. Fuck you, Sage. Fuck you. With that fucking David Montgomery shit, you can go fuck yourself. It's me and fucking Tim Tebow in the goddamn Bible club together, sitting in the goddamn fucking caverns. We're in the goddamn dormitory of a goddamn basement. This isn't good. Sage, push the red button. It's time to push. Push it. Push it real good. Push it. Push the red button real good, Sage. Please. Just do it. Please, Sage. Please, just do it. I'll pay you in 17 deniers per year for the next 17 years. Sage said, fuck the juicery. You know what? At first, I thought you were going to say, fuck the bowl cut. But you said, fuck the juicery, so I agree with that. At least you're not last. Yeah, well, I guess so. Was looking at that. Sage, the league's been deleted, everyone. 17 deniers times 17 years is all it took. That's a lot of deniers, so I can't really blame Sage for that. That's a lot of deniers. That's a ton of deniers. Speaking of deniers, I think it's time we get the fuck out of here. It's definitely time to get out of here. But we had a successful baseball fantasy league. I do like the activity. I think next year we're going to try to recruit Nathan so we can beat the shit out of him. So I've been looking to do that for a little while now. And yeah, I hate, and I mean I hate, Yahoo for fucking... I hate Yahoo. I can't think straight when I'm looking at Yahoo. I can't do it. Sage threw a wrinkle at me, and it was called an interface. Yahoo's interface is fucking terrible. And it's fucked with Sage too. He regrets it. I think I approved, or I proposed it, or you proposed it and I approved it. I don't know. It's not a good interface. We'll be going back to ESPN next year. We apologize, inconvenience, ladies and gentlemen. We fucked it up. Sage, we collectively fucked it up. We don't want to... I don't want to talk any further about this. It's only going to make me feel uncomfortable. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'm in the cellar. I fucking hate that. Good night. See you guys tomorrow.